Now we back. Faithful Boys. Post game wrap up. San Francisco 49ers versus the Houston Texans. Trey Lance, 16 for 23, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
Yeah, I think when you look at the big scheme of things, the second half was what we wanted to see in the first half. Um, that first drive they came out and ran the ball a couple times. I didn't really like that, but I knew what Kyle was trying to do. Trying to establish the running game, which ultimately it did pay off. And it was perfect with the play action off of it for the deep shot to Debo, and then they got the touchdown to Elijah Mitchell, and then he broke off a long run. So, and the defensive line started getting the pressure, you know, which we talked about at halftime. So everything that we talked about wanting to see, we saw, and that allowed them to get this victory. So they 9-7. Um, this game against the Rams look like they're gonna have to win that one to get in because the Saints probably gonna beat the Panthers here. I think
Right.
they only got like maybe 5 minutes left in the game. But overall, I believe it was a good team win. Special teams didn't kill them. I'm glad they took Josh Norman out. Because you just getting burned. Dante Johnson, you wasn't much better. You know, and you got a penalty right after you got in. But I'd rather play you than play him at this point.
At
All
least
he did was
athletically, he's still able to do it to me. To me, Josh
yeah.
Norman, athletically, it's just not there for you.
Yeah, you long in the tooth. Yeah, you holding on out there. So to me, man, play Lenore. I just like Lenore. Maybe I'm biased,
You
but
got a little
yeah,
dog in him. I feel you.
yeah, play Lenore. You're playing Amber Thomas, and he's starting to play good. So why can't you play Lenore? But I'm
Right.
not the coach. They ain't paying me the millions of dollars to make them decisions. I'd probably get fired if I put him out there. But that's here nor there. But overall, no, it was a good victory. Like I said, defense for the most part in the first half played solid. They didn't get pressure, but they only gave up the one touchdown. And they got off in the beginning of the game. They got off with the third downs. Offensively, I think they were just trying to feel their way through with Trey. Shanahan was playing it close to the chest. But I think the drive that got them the 3 points before halftime really allowed him to open up the playbook more, give him more opportunities, and then they just fed off the running game and then the play action, and even Kittle
Yeah.
got a ball, which in a way, when Jim in there, we know Kittle gonna get most of those balls. Debo gonna get most of those balls. I like the fact that with Trey, he got it to the running back, he got it to
Equal opportunity,
Sherfield,
baby.
yeah, he got it to Ayuk, which they talked about during the game. How at the in the warm ups they go out there and they rep everything.
Right.
So he had that rapport and that timing down with him, and then he was able to get the ball to Kittle. I mean, get the ball to Kittle, and he was able to get the ball to Debo for the big touchdown pass. So and that's what we talked about yesterday. That's what I see when I look at Trey. I look at a quarterback that's going to take what the defense give, and we will spread the ball around to everybody. Everybody will be able to, you know, um,
Yeah, he
you know,
contribute.
get a touch, get their hands on it. Even got the one pass to Jermichael Hasty when they did get the touchdown to Mitchell, later
Right.
on. So that's what I'm saying. That's the quarterbacking that we want to see. You ain't forcing it to one man. You're not, forcing it to the players can make plays. You take what the defense give you, and you be on time. Now he's still a little skittish in the pocket. When they break down, he'll look to initially run, but he will keep his head up and he can buy time because a couple times in the game, when his first read wasn't there, he came off and his first instinct is to pull it down and run, but he's learning to still keep his eyes downfield and use his legs and his arm to make a play. Jimmy wouldn't have gotten that done. He would have took the sack or forced it in there or something. So you got to look at that from Trey too. But like I said, to me, just watching the game, he got to clean up his throwing motion. He got to get a little more shorter throwing motion. And I think if he can get that corrected in the off season with the time that you will have, then you're going to see him really take off because we know he got the arm. He can make the throws. But on the one pass that IU caught to get him the 3, that should have been picked because he was the wind up. That release time in NFL, man, you got to be quick. Yeah, you give a defensive back, any little extra second, and that could be picked off. And even the one he got picked off to Kittle, if he would have, put a little air, a little more air over him, over the man, he probably could have got that completed. But you get a defensive back credit, he made the play. So overall, I think he was solid. We weren't expecting no 300 yards, but he made the plays he had to make. Shanahan dialed it up right in the second half, and they got the victory. So, the elephant in the room is we saw Jimmy on the sideline smiling. Is he going to be out there against the Rams? Who they going to play against the
Right.
Rams? Jimmy even be healthy enough to go out there because the Rams is a different animal defensively. They got Von Miller, they got Aaron Donald, they got Floyd on the edge. So,
Don't forget
you
about
know,
Ramsey.
yeah, Ramsey, yeah. So it ain't going to be easy, just trying to, score points against them. And, they're going to have to play for something now, too, because Arizona beating the Cowboys. So Arizona still technically in the running for the West title. So, yeah, it's going to be for all the marbles. So Shanahan going to have a decision to make. Do I put Garoppolo out there? Not 100%, but maybe good enough to be able to throw. But to me, the offensive line going to have to hold up, with that because the Rams, y'all bullied the Rams this time. The Rams going to want payback for how y'all just, physically just out muscled them last time.
Yeah, they're
So,
gonna have it on their mind. They
yeah,
should.
they're gonna have it on their mind. So to me, it's just me. I would put Trey out there. I'll say this: if Jimmy healthy enough to start, I think they're gonna start him. Now, if he struggle, then I think at some point you got to put Trey in there because you got to win the game. The Saints playing the Falcons in Atlanta, I think, and that typically Atlanta play y'all tough, so we'd have to root for for the Dirty Birds. But yeah, Houston defense ain't nowhere near on the level of the Rams.
Oh
So
nah.
yeah, so kind of foreshadowing to next week, I would go with Trey Lance just from the standpoint of he could buy you time. You're still gonna try to establish your running game, but he might give you in terms of just buying your time in the pocket. At least he could scramble and get out of the pressure and maybe make some plays that way. I just don't
Right.
see what Jimmy gonna be effective if they're getting good pressure. I just don't think it would be a good look. But like I say, Shanahan gonna make that call, um, and stuff like that. So, and then like I said, defensively, we gonna have our hands full with Stafford and Cooper Cup and
Oh
Odell
damn.
and the tight end Higby, and they got a pretty good running game too. Don't sleep on the running game. So our outside corners already getting smoked deep. So Stafford could get it out there. So if they don't get pressure in this one, they could get down early. So that's why I'm saying this might not be the game where you're gonna try to run it 30 times. You're gonna have to score to win in most cases. So who give you the best chance to push the ball downfield or maybe even threaten the defense? To me, that would be Trey Lance with they on. Now Garoppolo, I just I just don't see even with the week off and not throwing and they probably been treating it and stimulating it and all of the stuff they could do to it. It's they probably give you a shot or something in it to whatever, but I don't know. To me, Jimmy gonna make if he out there, he gonna make a crucial mistake at a crucial time. That's what I'm thinking. You know.
Well, I'm with you on that. Not to get too much into it, but we both agree Trey is the more dynamic player, I guess, along with everybody else. General consensus, but
Yeah.
I definitely think he would give us the ability just to be more, get more chunk plays out of the play action. Uh,
Yeah.
Jimmy, you hurt, your arm already not the strongest, and let's
Right.
think about last time we beat him. We beat him by dominating with the run, so it wasn't
Yeah.
like
hmm
Jimmy was required to do that much.
Right.
Saying
Yeah.
that, I would think that Trey could do it if they were able to follow a similar game plan. But
Hmm.
I'm with you. I would like to see Lance out there, especially if Jimmy not 100%.
Right. And we kind of foreshadowing to next week, but like I said, this was a good win. They got to clean up the penalties. A lot of that was pass interference, a couple little holding calls, roughing the passer where that was kind of ticky tack. The dude, Arden Key was kind of by his legs, but they're gonna protect the
Yeah,
quarterback, so you got to just chunk that up. Armstead got real good push inside. DJ Jones was solid inside. Um, Marcel Harris got the pick. Hitman got that pick. That was big. They forced a fumble, but Houston jumped back on it. They gave up a little run, a little bit. Fred Warner was, I don't know, he wasn't as solid as he normally be. He's around the ball, but he missed. I think he could have been there a little sooner. As far as the offensive line, like I said, they didn't give up no sacks. Well, the one sack they gave up. You know, um, Trey, was able to escape the pressure, and things like that. They challenged with the deep ball and threw to the outside of the numbers. And then when he did throw in the middle of the field, Ayuk and Debo and Kittle made the plays. So like I say, overall, it's a good solid team win. They're gonna have to bring their A game against the Rams. You know, and I think they will. They know what's at stake. I don't know what the score is with the Saints game, and the Saints will probably pull that out. So
right.
they'll be 8-8. We really is technically the 6th seed because we got the head over Philly. So we technically in that 6th spot, right now. So like I said, the talking points all week is gonna be who's gonna start. Shanahan gonna probably say Jimmy is gonna be available or can play to try to have the Rams have to prepare for Lance and him. You know,
Yeah,
um, so I think that'll be what's gonna come out of his mouth. You know, come Wednesday. With the first practice of the week. And the Grant Cones and all of the Bay Area beat writers, they'll be out there seeing who's gonna be warming up. To start the practices and stuff like that. So it all depends on how Jimmy do, and stuff like that. I won't be surprised they just bring him out there in uniform just to give the appearance that he is gonna try to give it a go. They didn't do none of that this week, but I could see them having him out there maybe, when it, dressed up, with the appearance of that he's gonna try to throw. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna be able to see the practice, so we won't know until after, it's over, who really got the reps. You know what I mean? But I could see that happening, because Shanahan gonna try to make McVay and what's the defensive coordinator for the Rams? I'm drawing a blank on his name, but they're gonna try to give them, make them have to over prepare for maybe 2 quarterbacks. You know what I mean? So I could see that. Shanahan gonna try to take every advantage of it as he can up until that time. You know, so I could even see Garoppolo being dressed Sunday. And maybe if Trey Lance started and he struggled, then they'll go to Garoppolo or vice versa. However they gonna do it. You
right.
know, but it all depends on how the game go, who get the ball. We that's unknown yet. Because the game ain't been played. So like I said, the positive out of this game is you was able to run the ball. I said what they said 35 times. Elijah Mitchell had 100 and maybe 15 yards rushing.
Mhm.
Lance was 16 of the 23 for the 249. Really shouldn't have had that pick, but two touchdowns and a pick, that ain't bad. Really should have had the rushing touchdown, but they called the holding on Ayuk. So it
Yeah,
really should have been 24-7, really, as opposed to the 20-7. Defensively, they didn't really threaten you as far as downfield. Brandon Cooks hurt you a little bit. They ran it, okay. You got, the pressure in the second half. So that allowed you to get them, in the third and the longs, so on and so forth, get off the field. We all know the cornerback position is the shaggy area. You know what I'm saying? Taught him, and Ward is solid at the safeties. The linebackers is solid. You know, our front seven is the strength of the defense. You know, so to me, y'all need to run with Dante Johnson. I wouldn't even put Norman out there. You know what I mean? Yeah, liability. And y'all, like I said, you're about to go up against Cooper Cup and Odell, and then they got Van Johnson and
Right.
they got some other good receivers, you know, and they got a good tight end. So, like I say, defensively, they're gonna have to really come to it, you know, with pressure, consistent pressure. I don't think D'Amico gonna be able to blitz that much. You know, you're gonna have to get it with your front four and play coverage, and you're gonna have to be sound with your coverage, you know, and offensively, like I said, they're gonna try to come and run the ball, and if they can, then that'll help whoever the quarterback is, you know. But like I said, I think if Jimmy physically can go, Kyle gonna go with him for the experience, you know, to see. And then we didn't have the Rams number. We didn't beat them 5 straight. So Shanahan know the formula.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so it ain't like we don't match up good with them. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it's gonna be a good game next week. You know, this one pretty much is put to bed. You know, everybody figured we was gonna beat Houston, but you know, with the first half, you know, I'm
No, that's
quite sure a lot of people are like, I don't know, but they pulled it out in the second half. And so really the game that if they don't make the playoffs, that's gonna really bite them is the Tennessee game.
Tennessee game.
Y'all had that game won. You know, y'all had that game. If y'all make the plays in the first half, y'all should have won that game if it come down to it. So like I say, overall, like I said, I think they played well in the second half. They played hard in the first half. They just didn't, maybe, get the results that they were looking for. But in the second half, they were able to get the results, get in the end zone, play the kind of football that for this team, that's winning football is running the ball, controlling the time of possession, dominating on both lines of scrimmage, and making the key passes when you need to make them. And like I said, it was good to see Trey play a full game. He didn't miss a lot of passes. 16 to 23. That's not bad. For
For the
that.
rookie.
Yeah, being a rookie. And like I said, the game plan was always to run it more than pass it. And like I said, it's gonna be the same game plan.
Yeah.
This coming week. But like I said, you playing in a stadium, they're gonna be motivated because they could win a division. They're gonna want payback because you didn't smack them 4 straight good times, and dominate them physically. So they're gonna try to take away that run. They're gonna either make Jimmy have to make throws, or they're gonna make Trey have to make those throws. So, like I said, a lot of it is dependent upon Jimmy being healthy. And if he healthy, then we know he gonna start, and let's see how he do. The first series, these 2 series will tell what's gonna happen with that. And like I said, you don't know if you're gonna be down or you're gonna be ahead or what the case may be. So at the end of the day, like I said, we can close the door on Houston and focus in on the Rams. Look like everybody got out of the game healthy wise, so that's good. No injuries. Maybe we'll have Al-Shaair back, for the Rams. So that would be nice if we can get him back, healthy for that one. Maybe E-Man might be back too, of not that one for the playoffs. So yeah, they're gonna have to go down to LA and get this dub. This week. But like I said, they make the playoffs. Great. If they don't, we know the future is Trey Lance. We know that he gonna be out there. He should be out there starting, but it's gonna be an interesting game to see how it shake out, with that come Sunday. So like I said, I think overall good team victory. All phases, did their job, against a Houston team that don't have a lot of talent, but they play hard. And so now I'm quite sure they're asking Shanahan and all of the players about turning the page and going to the next game. So
Mhm.
they'll have to start getting ready for that. So, like I said, good team victory. Clean up the penalties. Let Josh Norman sit. Let Dante Johnson play. Um, and like I said, we got to see who's gonna be the quarterback and what type of offense Shanahan could put together with whoever gonna be out there against the Rams.
Well, you're right, bro. Definitely bright future. Again, final score 23-7. Trey Lance 16 of 23, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Elijah Mitchell 21 rushing attempts, 119 yards. Uh,
Mhm.
Week 18 will be against the Los Angeles Rams, and we will definitely be doing our preview for that game starting sometime this week. So y'all just continue to rock with us, 49er fans. These are the Faithful Boys. Post game wrap up. Bang bang.
Yes, sir. Continue to like, subscribe, and share the link. And looking forward to previewing the Rams. And it's for all the marbles to get in this playoffs. And we'll have a lot to digest and dissect as the press conferences come out and as the players begin to shift their focus to the Rams. And the debate will be whether to go with Jimmy or go with Trey. So a lot of excitement for the faithfuls, and let's see if we can get this dub against the Rams and get in this playoffs and make some noise.
That's right. Faithful Boys, we out.
Peace.